Hi, let's have a meeting. My name is Katie Marie. Let's start this meeting with the third step prayer. God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and to do with me as Thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do Thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of Thy power, Thy love, and Thy way of life. May I do Thy will always. Amen. Remember that TLMS meetings uses the AA textbook called Alcoholics Anonymous, published by Alcoholics Anonymous World Services. I highly recommend that you get a copy of this text for your own use. Another book I highly recommend is Codependent No More, published by Hazelden Publishing. Our topic today is the introduction to TLMS 12 steps. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous was designed as a way to free alcoholics from the drink problem. The book of Alcoholics Anonymous has solved other problems of the alcoholic as well. I am not an alcoholic, but I am a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't drink only because I've never had a desire to drink. I began attending AA meetings 18 years ago in a desperate attempt to rid myself of my lifestyle choices. I use the word addiction to define those lifestyle choices, and you'll also see me use the word recovery in the same sentence. I might say addiction recovery, because you can be in recovery and have addictions. It's only fair that you're trying to get better. And so I say that you are recovering, or you might say I am recovering. Addiction. What is addiction? Addiction is a biopsychosocial disorder characterized by the repetitive engagement in behavior that may cause harm to self or others, such as compulsion or impulsiveness or manipulation or codependence, sexual or criminal activities, excessiveness, and even mental disorders, which you should seek professional help because you may need medication. Sometimes that's the only way you can help your mental disorders. So what is biopsychosocial? It is just a living relationship between your environment, yourself, and others. For example, some of my behavior was only a reaction to something or somebody, and that behavior caused me negative results. So it might be a reflex reaction, or it might just be your feelings are hurt, so you go and do A, B, and C because of what somebody else. But you have to understand, you can't necessarily put all of the blame on somebody else, because believe me, we've all done something that either perpetuated the situation or started the situation. So what we do in the 12 steps is take a look at ourselves. I can't fix you, but I can fix me. Okay, what am I about to read? I said read because I'm not going to try and remember all this research from MHRP off the top of my head. MHRP is the research part of our company that they're the part of our company that does all of our extensive research, and I head that part of the company. So, between me and collaborating with other people and going out and researching, I find information out for myself, but I always base my research on my experiences. So I'm going to read a summary of the introduction and the forewords located at the beginning of the big book. Okay, so if you have a book, open it up and go to the forewords. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous was compiled and is so widely used in the recovery process for men and women all over the world that no real radical changes have been made between the editions over the years. Okay, so confidently, this book is considered the basic text for recovery. So I just use it because it is a proven system, but I just call it my TLMS 12 steps because I do kind of cater to people that ain't never heard of AA. and don't even know that it exists, or maybe it exists and you tried it and you think it didn't work. Let's take a different approach and see if maybe we can learn a little something. Okay, the first edition was established in 1939 and represents the more than 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. This basic text was designed to show others precisely how we have recovered. Many people, including ourselves, do not understand the alcoholic as being a very sick person. Although we are an anonymous group, all who need or want it are welcome. You will never have to pay fees or dues for membership. The second edition was established in 1955. By this time, 150,000 men and women have recovered due to the basic text of Alcoholics Anonymous. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous, now reaching countries such as Canada, South Africa, South America, Mexico, Alaska, and Australia, just to name a few, which have flourished. Alcoholics Anonymous is a non religious organization which flourishes through the therapeutic value of one alcoholic helping another. The third edition was established in 1976. By this time, membership of Alcoholics Anonymous was established to be more than 1 million men and women in recovery in over 90 countries. The basic principles of the AA program appears to hold up for men and women with many different lifestyles. So it is safe to conclude that every day, somewhere in the world, recovery begins where one alcoholic shares with another alcoholic their experience, strength, and hope. I'm an addict. I'll share with other addicts my experience, strength, and hope. There is a fourth edition. I have the third edition. So it is the latest edition on record is the fourth edition. I encourage you to read this forward to the fourth edition along with the forwards to the first, second, and third edition. Don't take my word for it. Always go back to the basic text. There is a doctor by the name of William D. Silkworth, MD, of course. He is a well-known doctor and chief physician at a nationally prominent hospital specializing in alcoholic and drug addiction. Now, he's no longer with us, but that is a description of our doctor. Dr. William D. Silkworth explains the situation of an alcoholic type as hopeless. His form of recovery suggested that in order for one alcoholic to grow in recovery, he or she must share with another alcoholic. This became the basis for the rapid growth in recovery among alcoholics. And I believe the reason behind other group formations such as Emotions Anonymous. People are forming their own groups based on their own addictions. And so that way they can help another person just like them and recover. Upon sharing our experiences among one another, as well as the personal knowledge of our own experience, we come to believe in a power of providence, which pulls chronic alcoholics back from the gates of hopelessness. They say death in the book, but I say hopelessness, because really that's all it is. We're just hopeless. Okay? Only a man or a woman can admit themselves an alcoholic of such, or an addict, or whatever it is. I'm real excessive. I can tell myself that. Maybe you can't tell me, but I know I'm excessive. Okay. So, an alcoholic is simply a man or a woman who finds themselves in a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. The action of an alcoholic or any substance the action of alcohol or any substance on these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, and that this phenomenon of craving is limited to this class of the chronic alcoholic or addict. So basically, in order to get a phenomenon of craving, you have to actually start the process. So you either have to take something, drink something, or start something. Some people's phenomenon of craving starts when they hit the machine for the lottery. Or you eat a little piece of candy, and that's it. Now they're eating the whole bag. They're going back to the store for another bag. Okay. And these aren't lighter notes. An alcoholic, an addict, whoever, overeater, everybody's problem is just as big as the next person's problem. It's just as serious. Trust me, I've been there. I have an eating disorder, so I know. Once this habit becomes chronic to the point where you cannot break free from it, reliance upon all things human is lost along with self-reliance. So the problems in life pile up on you and become astonishingly difficult to solve. So that's where your unmanageability comes in. So, with all this information, it may be news to you. It may be something that you've already studied and you now it's a new light is being shined on you. Okay? Or maybe it's just interesting. You want to share it with somebody else. That's great. Keep this in mind for next week. Step one, next week. Remember, step one, next week. Thank you. And don't forget to donate to TLMSinc.org. We also have a gift store. Shop around, see what you like, don't like. It's there. It's a thrift store, so we do the best we can. And they're cute little gifts. You might see something for somebody you love. But definitely don't forget to donate at TLMSinc.org. Goodbye.